Saudi women are taking a stand. More than 15,000 of them have now signed an online petition, the first of its kind, calling for the government to end the country's guardianship system. Under Saudi law, all women must have the consent of a male relative to carry out some of life's most basic tasks. They need permission to travel abroad, marry, or to open a bank account. In some cases, they also need permission to work or to access health care. Male guardians are usually the woman's father or husband, but can also be a brother, even a son. The system means that in the view of the Saudi state, from birth until death, women are permanent legal minors. And a growing number say that needs to change. Saudi Arabia is one of the richest countries in the world. It's also one of the most conservative. Its human rights record, especially concerning women, has often been called into question. Saudi Arabia is the only nation in the world where women are banned from driving, a situation this Saudi comedian satirized in a viral video.
No woman, no drive. No woman, no drive.
Female activists who were fed up with the situation started the Women to Drive campaign in 2008. The government is taking some steps to loosen the restrictions on women. It's passed reforms making it easier for women to work and has appointed women to the King's Advisory Board. And for the first time in history, women were allowed to vote and to run for office in municipal elections last year.
أرى مستقبل المرأة السعودية في السنوات القادمة إن شاء الله نحو الأفضل، ولكن ما زلنا نحتاج الكثير من الدعم والكثير من العمل.
The push for more women's rights comes at a time of broader change in Saudi Arabia. The young Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is leading a drive to reform the economy and to wean the economy off its addiction to oil. His plan calls for more women to be involved in the workforce. Only 18% of Saudi women have jobs, even though more women than men graduate from university. The plunge in oil prices has put huge pressure on government budgets, as more people point to the economic cost of keeping such tight restrictions on half its population. Could financial pressure finally be the catalyst to bring change for Saudi women? Christine Pirovolakis, The Newsmakers.
Hala al-Dosari joins me now from Washington, D.C. She's a Saudi women's rights activist who's been involved in the online campaign against the guardianship system. Hala, good to talk to you once again. So there is this online petition. There's the call from thousands of Saudi women, including yourself. Do you think King Salman will listen?
Well, we wish that he would listen, particularly within light of the economic burden that the country is being, experiencing since the last 2 years, and with the pressure of so many educated women who are now trying to join the workforce, and find it very restrictive because of the several restrictions on their mobility or because of the guardianship permission requirements.
Mm-hmm. Saudi Arabia is not a bastion of democracy or freedom or human rights by any measure for women and for men in general. Are we seeing, however, as a Saudi, looking at the big picture, are we seeing small signs, however small, that things might just be opening up?
There are small signs, yes, and I think they are triggered not necessarily by response of the political leadership to demands of the public, more so by economic diversification and the National Transformation Plan, which is basically economic plan in heart, not necessarily circled around empowering citizens. But those are ignoring the main important issues that restrict women's engagement, such as the ability of women to commute, to travel, to seek better education and training, to find some kind of legal redress when they have a problem. All those issues involve several degrees of restrictions mainly because of the guardianship. So the root causes of limitations on women's autonomy and agency remain intact, basically. And even when the government tries to remove, the guardianship permission from the law, such as the labor law, for instance, they do not punish employers, or they do not enforce this type of, policy, and they allow people, basically the employers, to seek guardian permission as they wish. So in effect, rendering those laws really ineffective in empowering women.
If it does get removed, if those laws do get removed, how much resistance can we expect from other members of society within Saudi Arabia who are deeply committed to a Salafi Wahhabi notion of a woman's role in society? Is there likely to be a lot of pushback?
Of course not. This is an absolute monarchy. And this is something that the political leadership has been promoted a lot as an excuse not to enact effective changes. But you've seen with the amount of restrictions that women live under, more than half of the university graduates are women. More than half of the graduates in scholarship programs are women. So those families that really support their women to be part of the scholarship abroad or part of the educational system, the applicants, for instance, for unemployment benefit, 85% of those applicants were women below 35 years of age. So these are all signs that women are ready and trying to find opportunities and resources. And it just makes sense that the government would do their duty and enable those women. So just, I think it's more of an exaggeration of the situation. We have seen before when the government allowed women into the sport, for instance, the Olympics, or when the government allowed more women in the advisory council, the Royal Advisory Council, or when the government allowed more women in a municipal election. No resistance, insignificant resistance arise, and there are not really, they were insignificant to the decision of the political will.
Hala al-Dosari, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.